UFC 313 just finished up, and today I'm going to be giving you my thoughts and reactions on what just happened in this game and breaking it down fight by fights on basically the top fights of the card. Let's start off with the main event, Alex Periera versus Ankalev. Now, in TikTok, I had predicted that Ankalev was going to win. I said, no way Alex Periera wins. I expected this to be by grappling. I did not expect Alex Periera to basically be able to take or stop all of Ankalev's takedowns, and he basically got outstruck. Now, I don't think Ankalev is a better striker than Alex Periera. I do think that the threat of the takedown was the biggest factor of this card, or of this fight, I should say. I know Chael Sonnen repeats it all the time. The threat of the takedown is what basically freezes up a striker. And if you look at what Alex Periera did this whole card, or this whole fight, he didn't do anything. Now, before I keep going, I want to stop and say, I had Alex Periera winning. I did have Alex Periera winning, and I did see the Weasel MMA video where he basically broke down who really won, but we know how the Weasel MMA ranks his Dagestani fighters and how much he kind of changed the numbers up for him. So I don't want to go just off his video. I had Alex Periera winning live, but I can't deny that it was a close fight. I would say whoever gave Ankalev a 4-1 in the scorecards was just insane. I didn't agree with that at all. But every round was close. Every round besides the first, who was obviously for Alex, the second and the fourth, both of those rounds were obviously for Ankalev. The third was a close round, and the fifth was a close round. And even though Ankalev was basically holding Alex Periera in the last minute or so, I still had Alex Periera winning that round because he hit him with a couple of good snapbacking jabs and punches. But besides that, Alex Periera didn't do anything. He just kept leg kicking, and it seemed like he was trying to take on that Jan Blachowicz approach, which is leg kick, and he thought, I guess, 3 to 4 leg kicks, just like Jan did, Ankalev was going to be on skates. But the truth is, Ankalev just kind of ate those leg kicks. And we got to put respect on Jan Blachowicz's leg kicks. Like, this dude, if you look at Alex Periera, who there are a lot of people who are saying he has the nastiest leg kicks out of any fighter, he was throwing the kicks to his outside calf of Ankalev. Jan Blachowicz was throwing those kicks shin to shin. And I know he had some wrappings in his legs, which might have benefited Jan. I don't think it would have benefited him that much. So, Jan Blachowicz's steel are made out of, Jan Blachowicz's, I say Blachowicz, whatever his name is. Jan Blachowicz's shins are made out of steel for him to just kick like that. And in 5 leg kicks, if I recall correctly, Ankalev was on skates. And Alex Periera threw like 40 calf kicks. And, Alex Periera threw like 40 calf kicks, and Ankalev just kind of ate them through. So, yeah, Ankalev is now the new champion. And in my head, look, this is where I'm at. I know Alex Periera had a lot of fans. And I would prefer Alex Periera to win over Ankalev, but the truth is, this kind of is better for the theory of the sport, as in you had someone who's a MMA master, and you have someone who's a specialist and who's a champion of glory kickboxing. But the way the world should work is, and the way the sport should work is, the champion of glory kickboxing should not just come and walk in to 2 divisions and basically become champion. Like, he has to get checked. And the truth is that Magomed Ankalev is the better MMA fighter. So this is good for the theory of the sport. It's not good for the company. And by that, I mean, now you have 3 fighters who are Muslim, and 3 Muslim fighters, which means you have 3 fighters that aren't going to fight during Ramadan. And it's not just the month of Ramadan. It's the training camp of Ramadan. So basically, you have 2 fighters who 6 weeks, 8 weeks out, they can't do anything. So that's basically 3 months out of the year that a fighter that's a Muslim fighter can't and won't be able to participate. That's 3 champions. Again, this is good. I know the Muslim fighters bring their own group of fans, and they bring their own heavy set of numbers. But as for the some divisions to just keep moving on, this is bad for the sport. Um, so that's basically what I think about this fight. Again, I do think there should be an immediate rematch, and if there isn't, I think Yuri Prohaska might be the best type of fighter for Ankalev. He's his nightmare matchup, but we'll see. Um, Maybe Alex Pereira, now this gives him a reason to go up to heavyweight, but he got rocked by Ankalaev. So I give him absolutely no chance to lose. Or sorry, I give him absolutely no chance to beat Tom Aspinall. And I think skill for skill, Tom Aspinall might even be better than Ankalaev. I think he can deal with the grappling, and he's a better striker, or at least has heavier hands. So we'll see. We'll see what happens from here on out. The next fight that I'm going to be talking about, Justin Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev. I think Rafael Fiziev was well, it says right here, minus 160 favorite. This is insane. I do not understand this at all. I thought maybe, I understand Justin Gaethje had just gotten knocked out, but Justin Gaethje, he's gotten knocked out before, and I believe from the Eddie Alvarez fight to the Dustin Poirier fight, in those 2 fights he got knocked out back to back twice. He's a fighter that can withstand all this heavy damage, and Fiziev, he's a fighter that is a super explosive fighter. I will say, in the beginning of the fight, or at least the first round and a half, I thought to myself, okay, Fiziev is taking an approach where he's obviously not exploding as much, and he's making it more of a technical fight, and he was doing good. It was a good fight. Besides the early takedowns that I think at the end of the day might have drained the gas tank of Fiziev, because wrestling is the worst nightmare for cardio or people who lack cardio. You can't just go up and start shooting takedowns. I thought Fiziev did good, but at the end of the day, Justin Gaethje, he has a better cardio. He's a good brawler, and once you start settling into those third and championship rounds, even though I know this was a 3-round fight, the brawler is gonna win because he's more gritty. Justin Gaethje's more gritty than Fiziev. Fiziev was starting to become less technical. When things get less technical, they become more of a brawl. And you guys know what I'm trying to say. Justin Gaethje at the end of the day won. Fiziev, I don't see him ever getting to top 5. He might enter top 10. I think he's probably one of the most impressive strikers in this division. Full cardio wise, he might be the best striker in this division in the first round, but he's too explosive. And you see his body style, his frame, his fighting style. He's just not meant for these 5-round fights. So if he ever does make it to the top 5, he's going to be fighting them 5 rounds, and he's going to be losing. So, unfortunately, Fiziev, I think he's going to never be in the top 5 and arguably never fight for the title. But we'll see. Jaylan Turner versus Ignacio Bahamendez. From what I heard, Jaylan Turner has now retired. I saw a tweet about this. I didn't look too much into it because I was just scrolling through Twitter, but Jaylan Turner, man, this is insane. I mean, at one point he was so hyped up because of what he did with Gamrot. I thought he actually deserved to beat Gamrot, but now it seems like he's going through a little bit of a slump, and he's getting kind of caught more often than not. All I'm saying is, look, I know he's also 6'3". These 2 fighters were insanely tall for their division, but once you grapple, you realize that there's some body frames that you should just stay away from on the ground. These 2 people, both of them have the body frame to catch the other with a sneaky submission. And yeah, I mean, Jaylan Turner, he did good against Gamrot, but Gamrot doesn't really have much of a submission threat. So maybe that kind of gave him false confidence. And yeah, Ignacio Bahamendez, he's not going to be ranked. I haven't seen enough of him, to be honest. This is a stacked division, so the fact that he can even become ranked. Actually, no, I think the fact that Jaylan Turner is even ranked kind of devalues this division. Jaylan Turner should never be ranked in any division that's named the most skillful division. Yeah, Jaylan Turner is talented, but I just don't see him. I don't see him as an actual threat. I feel like if you're in the more skillful division and you're ranked, then you should automatically be a contender. Jaylan Turner will never be a contender. So, and I don't see Bahamendez as a contender either. Dan Hooker, I mean, a lot of these fighters, they're kind of journeymans. And that's kind of what the lightweight division is starting to become. Starting to become full journeymans. It might be because there was an era that had peaked so much, like the McGregor and the beginning of the McGregor era and the end of the Khabib era. Like they were so dominant, and they're still kind of in the rankings. That's kind of hurting the division. I don't know, but yeah, we'll see what happens with Jaylan Turner. Ignacio Bahamendez, I don't know what's gonna happen to him either. He's gonna be ranked though. We'll see what happens. Amanda Lemos versus Eastman Lucendo. I don't even want to get into this fight. Bobby Green versus Mauricio Huffy. I think Bobby Green is done, to be honest. This might be his pre-retirement fight. He just came from a loss from Paddy Pimblett, a submission loss. And then before that, I believe it was either to Miller. He either got the victory against Miller or he got that crazy knockout against Jaylan Turner, which he took too much damage from. So yeah, Bobby Green, he's starting to get knocked out, submitted. It's not looking too good for him. I think he's now. I don't know if, I mean, it doesn't seem like he's ranked over here in the website of the UFC, but now he's even further down the rankings. I mean, he said he still wants to fight, so who knows? Mauricio Huffy, he just has this aura about this, and again, you're starting to get to the point where you're gonna get ranked. You're gonna start fighting for those 5-round fights. So if he's not able to just keep knocking people out and kind of have the same path to victory like McGregor has, because both of these do have that same like pose and fighting stance. If he's not able to just keep knocking them out and not get exposed in the cardio, that's really the only way I see him losing, is if he gets exposed within or after the first 2 rounds. And yeah, but yeah, Mauricio Huffy is good. We'll see if he makes it to the top 15 and maybe even fights Bahamendez. We'll see. But he's good. He's got good striking, clean striking. And then lastly, or I'll talk about Joshua Van. I had him as the favorite. He's a short guy and he has a very low center of gravity. You see that his legs are pretty short. I mean, he's 5'3", I think, so he's very short. And on top of the fact that he's 5'3", his legs are even shorter than the average 5'3" person, I would say. So yeah, again, his low center of gravity was gonna do good against someone who is very wrestling heavy, and I knew this just by the Cody Durden fight. I should have picked this fight in my TikTok video where I made my picks. By the way, I got all my picks correct. So yeah, Joshua Van, he's making his way through the division, and he's going pretty fast. I forgot when was the last time he fought. I think he might have fought in January or December. Like, this dude is active. So, we'll see. Alex Morono versus Carlos Leal. This is actually, yeah. I feel bad for Alex Morono, man. You just want fighters like that who are just gritty and tough and represent that early. I know MMA Guru. I watch the videos. He talks a lot about how Moreno is soy. I said that in my TikTok videos too, but I for some reason I have a soft spot for Alex Moreno. But yeah, he's fighting now the newer generation, Carlos Leao. He's big, he's skillful, and he has just genetics. He has knockout genetics. I mean, this was probably the biggest. Carlos Leao was probably the biggest favorite in the card. So Alex Moreno, he's up in his 30. I think he's in his upper 30s in the 155-pound division. Yeah, I do think he still deserves a place in this organization. He's still good. He can still maybe fraud check some of the up and comers because he has that dog in him. And sometimes you need a fighter who has that dog in him to check these up and comers. So yeah. Next fight, Marin Santos versus Francis Marshall. I had Francis Marshall winning. I even had him winning 3-0. I know MMA Guru. I know I'm calling him out or I'm name dropping him a lot in this video, but I was watching his live stream. He had Marin Santos winning 2-1. Look, I saw Marin Santos get rocked and dropped in the first round. So that was he obviously lost a round. He got rocked in the second round. And then in the third round, it was a close back and forth in the striking. But Francis Marshall took him down. And basically, I think even though he didn't do much with the takedown, he still secured the round with control time. So I had it a bad draw. I think the judges in this or tonight were bad in general. But yeah. That's just my opinion. We'll see what happens from now on. But yeah, I had Francis Marshall winning 3-1 or 3-0. Anyways, guys, as far as me going, I'm gonna be trying to keep making MMA videos. I kind of stepped away from the MMA videos for a while. There was just so much soccer content. Soccer was actually my first love. MMA is my second love. But it was actually MMA videos or people like MMA Guru and people who kind of break down these fights. They were the reason why I wanted to start a YouTube channel, and I want to get back to the MMA world with this. That being said, I'm gonna keep dropping these videos. I'm gonna keep dropping TikToks. I'm going on Instagram. Follow me on TikTok, Slutty Pumpkin Pics. And yeah, I'll see you guys. Pumpkin Pics out.